Leonardo da Vinci once said, "Well, I thought that I was learning to live, I have been learning how to die," or something like that. I'm not really sure. For all I know, he might not even have said that at all. But regardless, death is a natural part of life. Everybody is gonna experience it sooner or later, and if you've been with this channel for a little bit, you know we've already been there a couple times. There was that one time I got shot by a cat. That was actually like last week. There was that time I got pushed off screen by alternate versions of myself, but even after all of that, I came back somehow. Now this video isn't about me dying several times over. It's about some other YouTubers who are about to pass from this life. Except they might actually not be, and there's a good chance they're just milking actual illnesses that they may or may not have to make it seem like they're dying to get views. The pair of YouTubers doing this is called XtremeGamez, and they came to my attention when a friend of mine, Leon Lush, made an excellent video on them, bringing skepticism to them and their brick-sized noses for their heinous actions. I'm sorry, that was mean. Let me try that again. Them and their massive sub count for their heinous actions. That's more backhanded compliment, I'll take that. But basically, on August 25th, 2018, XtremeGamez uploaded a video entitled, "We're quitting YouTube because we're dying, not clickbait." And the not clickbait part was in all caps, which made it feel very much like clickbait to me. Now firstly, what I want to do is take a look at what diseases these two say are killing them. Let's start with the guy on the right who claims to be dying of a kidney disease.
I'm holding 16 kilos of fluid in my body. When I say fluid, it's literally because my kidneys can't filter my fluid out anymore. You know how painful it is to be locked inside your own body with all this fluid that you can't physically move, you can't eat, you're not hungry. My body's literally at the end, and I'm literally just gonna... And that's why we're literally quitting YouTube.
A well-known symptom of kidney disease is saying literally every other word, so you know this guy isn't playing around. He's got something very serious going on inside his body, even if it's not kidney disease. Come to think of it, we haven't heard from Leafy in a while, so maybe he's hiding in that guy's sternum. So Kidney Guy says he was on 15 different tablets of meds a day, and that he thought taking those tablets was the way to cure his kidney disease. And while it did remove the fluid from his body, which would make him bloated and stop him from being able to move, according to him, apparently the medication was actually making it worse. He claims that the medication was shutting down his whole body.
But what I didn't know that it was doing was it was completely shutting down my whole body.
And that taking it was really making him 10 times worse.
And they've literally made me 10 times worse now.
And now he says that he's been off the tablets for 6 months and the fluids have returned 10 times worse.
All my edema is back 10 times worse than it was before.
But I don't want to go too hard into this guy myself because I don't know his situation. I'm not experienced with kidney disease or its symptoms, and he very well could have the disease and he could be relating his actual experience. But what I will do is read you some testimonies of people in the comment section of Leon Lush's video on this topic talking about their supposed struggle with kidney disease. You might say that I don't have a way to verify these people's accounts, which is true, but from what I can tell, XtremeGamez hasn't really given us a way to verify theirs either, so yeah. As someone who's had their kidneys failed, the moment the dude said that's what he was going through, I knew it was fake, lol. If he was going through that, the pain would be too much to move. You wouldn't barely be able to make it through the video without showing signs of great pain. I could barely sit up when my kidneys were failing. That dude got the symptoms down when he spoke about it, but just forgot to freaking act them out. Dude, I have vertigo and kidney disease. As long as you take care of yourself, you ain't dying. Now speaking of vertigo, let's talk about Machine Gun Kelly over here on the left, who claims that the vertigo he is suffering from is crippling him.
Every single day I wake up, it's like just absolute vertigo. And if you guys don't know what vertigo is, it's like dizziness. You know when you're on a roller coaster, you get off and everything's spinning. Imagine that happening to you every single day for the entire duration of the day. And it's just like on, off, on, off, on, off. And you just keep getting dizzy every single day for 4 years. That's kind of what's happened to me.
Now, I can personally confirm that vertigo feels like fucking AIDS. I don't mean it's literally like AIDS where you get ulcers on your dick. I mean it sucks to have, and I completely empathize with this guy if he does have it. But vertigo, even if it's really bad, doesn't kill you, at least not directly. For vertigo to kill you, you would have to be doing something that already has some risk to your life, that requires coordination. Coordination that vertigo would be taking a fat shit on, and that sucks, but it's not a cause of death. At least not a direct one. It's circumstantial. And to be fair to him, that's not really how he describes it. He more goes into detail about how the feelings that the vertigo causes for him makes him feel like he wants to die. But the title of the video is "We're quitting YouTube because we are dying," not clickbait. And with their other videos they have being stuff like "Ninja sent you fan mail" or "PewDiePie sent us fan mail," Please excuse me if I'm not entirely convinced about the whole not clickbait thing. In the interest of treating them fairly though, I want to bring up some more comments of people saying they have suffered from the same disease as him, and have them give their own take on why this guy might not actually be suffering from what they say they are. Or if they are, how they might be exaggerating it. How the prick is describing vertigo, you can't die from it unless it's circumstantial, like if you fell due to vertigo. Bruh, it made me so mad because both me and my Nam have vertigo. She's coped with it for 80 plus years, and it wasn't until late that she was put into a life-threatening situation, because she fell. Meanwhile, I know vertigo. I have vertigo, and it's literally just dizziness and disorientation. It doesn't make life unbearable, for fuck's sake. If you read that commenter's name, I think you know this is coming from a good authority. The K-pop stan community have spoken. Now thankfully, the iPhone giveaway these two had for this video isn't doomed. There may be a follow-up to it yet.
We're gonna hold a huge giveaway right now. We're gonna give away 2 iPhone X's, 2 of them. We're literally gonna give away 2 of them. That's how much we love you guys. And all you gotta do is literally like this video, turn on notifications on our channel, and subscribe.
The reason there is still hope is because there is apparently a doctor these two are going to see that might just be able to help cure both of them of their diseases. Apparently, these boys have left their home of Australia for the first time and come to America just so they could meet this doctor. And this doctor's name is John Bergman. Now, almost 2 weeks ago, the extreme epic gamer duo uploaded a follow-up video titled, "He Sings for His Dying Brother, Don't Cry." And essentially the video is them going to meet up with this Dr. Bergman character and the whole process of that. Also, it's 50 fucking minutes long. Because of this, I'm gonna do my best to give a brief summary of what happens in this video and then hit on some of the key things that caught my attention here. So the video starts off with the vertigo guy crying, saying that his friend has 4 weeks to live, and then it goes into that guy singing a cover of a song to a montage of him and his friend together. Then it cuts to the 2 of them together on the coast somewhere, or at least on a dock, whatever, where they thank people for the support on their last video, do another iPhone giveaway with the same requirements as last time, and most importantly perhaps, they reveal that John Bergman actually has a YouTube channel where he posts videos on health, a channel that is almost at 500,000 subscribers. Keep this in mind because we'll be coming back to it later, believe me. So after that whole dock scene, they go to Dr. Bergman's place of work, which is apparently a chiropractic office. Chiropractic, the most esteemed and reputable of medical fields. There's a lot of footage of just them talking to Dr. Bergman, and then it's footage of Bergman getting to work on the 2 of them.
Very gentle. Say that something's real uncomfortable.
Which is for some reason supposed to cure this guy's kidney disease. So essentially, I don't personally buy into this. I don't have cold definitive evidence to say that these guys are faking that they're dying, and I won't say I do. But all the same, this seems to me like a lot of horseshit. These 2 don't sound like they're dying to me at the very least. And while they may be indeed suffering from real illness, which I don't want to downplay or trivialize if they truly are, people who claim to also deal with these illnesses are saying that what's being described might be true symptoms of the disease, but it isn't showing itself in the boy's behavior, or in the case of vertigo, it wouldn't outright kill him to begin with. And so much of this just seems shady to me, like the way everything is being drawn out like they're truly dying, and things not lining up just kind of pisses me off, because cases like this make it that much harder for people who are actually suffering from these things to be taken seriously when they try to share their struggle. Like, if another situation like this comes up where a YouTuber claims to be dying of a disease, I know that this situation is going to be ringing in the back of my head, casting even a little bit of doubt on the situation. It just creates a bad precedent for anybody who tries to come out about it in the future. But enough about the XtremeGamez boys, Thomas and Jonathan, for now. I want to talk about this John Bergman character for a little bit. I mentioned earlier that he's a channel with 500,000 subscribers, and according to XtremeGamez, he's got a lot of good videos on health. And I did some digging into these videos on health, and it didn't take too long for me to feel like something was very wrong here. Like, if I look at his channel at the time of me writing this, the most recent upload is titled Vaccine Damage 2018 Q&A. That alone sets off the fight or flight response in my head, like, immediately. There are videos on his channel that are supposedly testimonials of parents saying that their kids are recovering from vaccine damage, and there's comments all over those videos about how vaccines are bad and how they won't vaccinate their children. Also, his liked videos has shit in it like 4 steps to cure Lyme disease naturally. That sets off more bells in my head, as a lot of stuff that relates to alternative medicine seems to do for me. Now, vaccines, for me at least, don't really feel like they should be falling under the category of Dr. Bergman's expertise, nor do a fuck ton of the other things he claims to provide important information on, like diabetes, ALS, and depression, because John Bergman is a fucking chiropractor. And correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I'm aware, chiropractic doesn't really have any solid evidence that it's an effective treatment for anything, and to be fair, my experience with chiropractic is very limited. It extends about as far as knowing that the guy's character from 2.5 Men, who wasn't Charlie Sheen or Ashton Kutcher, was a chiropractor at some point, but I did do some digging on Dr. Bergman's website as to what he had to say on vaccines, and there is a 3-part series of articles on healing damage caused by vaccines. In addition, though, there is another entry entitled Vaccines, Concealment, Infecting the Integrity of Medicine, and Damage to to the innocent. So I think I get a feeling on which side Dr. Bergman leans on the issue of vaccines. Now, I won't say I'm a medical authority or something, and I understand if for medical reasons someone can't get vaccinated, like for things like certain health conditions or age, but in general, if you are anti-vax, I probably think you're stupid. One of the major researchers who initially linked autism to vaccines in a paper was Andrew Wakefield, and it was specifically with the MMR vaccine. Now, there were 12 researchers in total who worked on that paper, and 10 of the 12 other researchers in the paper eventually retracted the interpretation of the paper, saying that autism was linked to vaccines. They said, "We wish to make it clear that in this paper, no causal link was established between the vaccine and autism, as the data were insufficient. However, the possibility of such a link was raised, and the consequent events have had major implications for public health." It doesn't help Dr. Wakefield's case that he suggested an alternative type of vaccine than the one that was being used currently. The type of vaccination to replace it was one where people would get single vaccinations with year gaps in between, the issue being that he had also applied for a patent on a single jab measles vaccine, which brought his motives for wanting to get rid of the current vaccine into question. That's not to mention that even if vaccines caused autism, if you would rather your kid get polio or some shit rather than autism, I really question your perspective of autism as a whole. Some of my best friends have autism, and there's a good chance you wouldn't even notice. Regardless of that, it's not like autism stops people from being functioning members of society. If there is some other reason you're against vaccines because you're afraid it'll harm your kids in a different way, consider that the diseases that were previously thought to be eradicated because of vaccines are coming back because people don't vaccinate. Some of them with the potential to be deadly, like measles. And for the people who physically don't have a choice to vaccinate for actual health reasons, your choice to not vaccinate yourself or your kids puts not only your children and you at risk, but also those people who can't vaccinate. I'm sorry for going off like that at the end, but when all is said and done, to me personally, it seems like these extreme game guides could really be suffering from real illnesses. But either way, it's very questionable to me at least whether they're dying. And the doctor they've gone to as their last hope is a YouTube chiropractor who seems to be less than in favor of vaccines with near 500,000 subscribers. This is just all my opinion, keep in mind, so if you disagree with what I have to say, you think I missed anything, got anything wrong, or just anything to add in general, feel free to leave that in the comments below. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to drop a like, and if you're new, subscribe. If you want to support the channel a little more directly, you can click that join button next to the subscribe button. You can donate $5 a month to get things like custom badges and custom emotes. It helps the channel out, and it would be much appreciated, but it's totally optional. I have a podcast with Wild Spartans and FPS Diesel called Loudmouse. We upload 2 new episodes every week, and we're up on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter at Kwite, and on Instagram at Kwite.png, links to both of those in the description below. And lastly, I also have a Discord server, link to that in the description as well if you're interested. Anyways, this has been Kwite, and I will see you guys next time.